Hello friend. I hope you're having a great day. Get ready for another emotionally charged episode, featuring the captivating performance of Miss REONA KIRISHIMA. She'll be embodying a married lady, a role that promises to highlight her incredible talent. Let's dive into the story. I'm confident you won't be disappointed. The story begins by introducing REONA and her hardworking, dedicated husband who often loses track of time working late into the night. REONA eagerly anticipates their upcoming move back to Tokyo. For the past 2 years, she's been living in Osaka alongside her husband. Now, thanks to his recent promotion, he's being transferred to the company's main branch in Tokyo. With only 10 days remaining before their departure, REONA's anticipation for this new chapter in their lives bubbles over. The following day, and 9 days before the move, Mr. Yoshio, the husband's boss, paid an unexpected visit. He'd learned of the promotion and the pending transfer to Tokyo and jokingly said that his subordinate might surpass him in rank within a few years. The husband mentioned their new apartment in Tokyo, a tangible symbol of their achievement and the promise of a fresh start. Everything was falling into place, a flawless execution of their aspirations. Seeing this, Mr. Yoshio felt a pang of envy, which only intensified upon meeting REONA and witnessing her beauty and grace. Their seemingly perfect life and evident love highlighted something lacking in his own. To meet the impending deadline, the husband spent the evening 8 days before his move working at home with his boss, who had offered to help him complete a large workload. With not enough time to finish everything in the office, they decided to tackle the remaining tasks at his place, hoping to wrap it all up several days before the month's end on the 31st. The two men worked with focused urgency, each minute a valuable commodity in their race to finish the task. The aroma of REONA's cooking, however, signaled a welcome interruption. Her dedication extended beyond her charm and beauty, evident in the delicious meal she'd prepared. Mr. Yoshio watched her, impressed, and mused on the fortunate man who had her as a wife, imagining the warmth and happiness she must bring to their home. During a pleasant meal, the boss abruptly inquired about REONA and her husband's plans for children. REONA responded that they would consider starting a family when the time felt right. Her husband then turned the tables, playfully asking about the boss's romantic prospects. Mr. Yoshio described himself as single and available, but his subsequent remarks about women were crude and distasteful, creating an uncomfortable silence. The couple was taken aback by this behavior. Mr. Yoshio apologized, particularly to REONA, attempting to dismiss his comments as a joke. However, the incident left REONA with a lasting negative impression of her husband's boss. 7 days before the move, REONA didn't expect a visit from Mr. Yoshio. He claimed to have left some important documents at her house the previous evening. The visit took REONA completely by surprise, and she hesitated to invite him in. Despite her reluctance, Mr. Yoshio brushed past her, insisting he needed to retrieve the papers. Once inside, he began a show of searching, pretending to look for the misplaced items. However, his story was a fabrication, a carefully constructed alibi. He had concocted this ruse to return to her home undetected, without her husband present. From the moment he'd laid eyes on REONA, he'd been battling an undeniable attraction, and he'd seized this opportunity to finally speak to her about it. REONA, caught off guard, and for nearly 38 minutes, the guy poured out his feelings, leaving REONA in stunned silence, unsure of how to react to his unexpected confession. 6 days before the move, the couple's patience was tested. Just like the other days, her husband was buried in work. Suddenly, REONA approached her husband and kissed him, a silent invitation. But he remained absorbed in his tasks, seemingly oblivious. He confessed he wasn't in the mood and suggested they wait until they were settled in Tokyo, where they could finally relax. REONA understood the situation and accepted his decision. This event demonstrated love and understanding for each other, even in the midst of stress and change. 5 days before the move, Mr. Yoshio arrived at their house after work. REONA, in particular, found his repeated visits intrusive, but the urgent project deadline loomed. Reluctantly, they allowed him to continue working. While the two men focused on their laptops, Mr. Yoshio suddenly stepped outside for some air. He found REONA in the kitchen, washing dishes. She visibly stiffened as he approached, hoping their previous conversation had settled the matter. Still, he clearly had more to say, and they spoke again for 10 tense minutes. REONA's discomfort was palpable, and the exchange only ended when her husband appeared, looking for his boss. Unbeknownst to them, this brief encounter would soon unravel into a complex situation. 4 days before the move, Mr. Yoshio piled a heavy workload onto his employee, leaving the man exhausted and deprived of sleep. When the boss woke up, he went outside. Meanwhile, REONA sat in the living room, her face etched with fatigue and worry. She seemed lost in thought, her brow furrowed with concern. When Mr. Yoshio emerged from his room, REONA, looking as captivating as ever. Just like last night, they engaged in a 20-minute conversation. With the move only 3 days away, the last task was completed on Sunday. Mr. Yoshio could finally return home, and REONA's husband, exhausted from nights of hard work, could finally rest. Little did he know, his boss and his wife had continued their hushed conversations. Their relationship blossomed from out of nowhere. It was the 29th of the month, Monday, and only 2 days before their long-awaited move to Tokyo. Using her pen, she firmly marked the date on the calendar, as if making sure she wouldn't forget it. The couple's hardships would finally end. With the move just a day away and his final workday concluding, the couple buzzed with so much excitement. She planned to wait for her husband to get home so they could tackle the last of the packing together. That evening, as she began sorting through their belongings, a knock startled her. Expecting her husband, she opened the door only to find Mr. Yoshio standing there. For perhaps 20 minutes, they spoke one last time. Finally, July 31st dawned, the day of the move. As the couple prepared, the boss unexpectedly arrived, offering to help with the packing. The husband was immensely grateful, unaware that Yoshio's motives extended beyond simple assistance. He harbored a secret. He planned to follow REONA, driven by an undeniable love for his subordinate's wife. Knowing it was morally wrong, he was nonetheless compelled to pursue a connection with her. REONA, for her part, reciprocated his feelings, their mutual attraction undeniable. The future of their relationship is uncertain, leaving its ultimate conclusion to everyone's imagination. The end. Did you like the story? Subscribe now to catch my latest videos. Share your thoughts in the comments, spread the word to friends and family, and hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Remember, while this story was for entertainment, please don't replicate any negative behaviors depicted. Thanks for watching and supporting my channel. See you in my next story.